what the Lord
Thank you.
So now, to set the stone, that brings to their memory. Whenever they see it, they will recall what the Lord has done.
God bless you, sir. God bless you. If it were to be my regular class, I'll say, please give me a round of applause. God bless you, sir. So, after the Red Sea, I don't know how many of you have taken your time to go through the story of the children of Israel from Egypt till Jesus. They quickly forgot every single thing. Not that they forgot, but they just turned away. How God pulled them out of Egypt. How God said, do not do this. At Sinai, something happened. Many of them perished. They still went back to that same thing that made many of them perish. So it was more like all these things, their stories, Joe. How are we so sure that these things happen? More like it. After Sinai, after the Red Sea, wow, it's happened. My son, this is what happened. Grandpa, are you sure that's what happened? Yes. So the stories, and one thing about stories that you tell is that as the days go by, it loses its value. It thins out. So telling the story wasn't as much again. It wasn't as effective again. So God needed to use something to remind all of them. And as I said, for each tribe, someone should pick a stone at the River Jordan. Okay, now let's go back to the Ark of Covenant. How many of us remember the stories? We'll still read some Bible texts. The stories of what happened with the Ark of Covenant. What happened? How many of us remember when the Philistines took the Ark and they placed it in their temple? What happened? Their God statue fell in reverence. Because that ark wasn't just a furniture. Because the Bible there is talking about a furniture, significant furniture for the Israelites. But it wasn't just a furniture. Yes, God asked them to do this, do that, and all that. But it was more significant than a wooden piece of furniture. It was more than that. It was the presence of God. But you see, the heathens, let me group them that way. The heathen thought it was their God, like a small God, small g. They didn't know that was just a significance of God's presence in their life, in their presence there, amongst them. Now, in every of those, in that ark, what was contained? The jar of manna. Remember how I fed you in the desert. 2, the rod of Aaron. The dry rod. What happened to that rod? Why is it there? Can someone remind us? What happened with that rod? Why was that rod placed in the ark? It bloomed and flower came out of it. Beautiful flower from a dry piece of wood that an old man has been using to walk around all the while. You understand? God used that to prove to his people that he is great. That's why that staff was placed in there. And the ultimate one, what's that? What? Tablet of the law, the 10 Commandments. 3 significant things, but they, easily just pushed it aside because what's that cliche word that we use now in Nigeria? see finish. Yes, see finish had happened with the ark. They just it's one of those things. Now, when they were to bring back the ark, who remembers what happened? Someone took it to his house. I can't remember his name now. He took it to his house because while carrying it home, what? Yes. You said? Obedidom. Now, he took it to his house because something happened. They carried it without apart from that, before that, something happened that they forgot the precepts, the manual Moses left for them on how to carry this ark. Now, they carried it just anyhow. Let's just take back our property. We are taking it home. Until something significant happened and then it was taken to Obedidom's house. Everybody was like, it cannot be in my house. It cannot be in my house. And Obed said, let this come to my house. What happened to his house? God blessed him for housing the Ark of Covenant. To tell you that it's not just an ordinary thing. We are going back to the River Jordan and everything and how it implies, how we can apply it to our lives. The Ark of Covenant was taken from Obed's house, and now they brought out the manual that Moses kept for them. And they read through, how do we go about it? And they followed that process. Yes, some people died out of collateral damage, but that's why we need to listen. Because the decision we make today can affect someone out there tomorrow. So that's why we need to be careful how we carry out our activity on a daily basis, because everything we do is not just ordinary. Nothing that we do. We should not just take our daily prayer as an ordinary exercise. It's not ordinary. Because that little prayer that you make can change the whole world's speed, the speed of the rotation of the earth. A little prayer. What did Jesus say at the cross? I just want to point something out to us. What did Jesus say at the cross that caused the earthquake? It is finished. 3 words. And some people will go and spend